Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission today is pretty laser focused. We're diving into the source material for the AIDA Imaging CS-12-0F lens. We want a shortcut to knowing everything, the tech specs for compatibility, and the really critical financial fine print.
Exactly. We're essentially pulling the blueprint for this very compact, very specialized lens. And the goal is to figure out not just what it can do, but what it costs you right now, especially since the documentation points to some, let's say, potentially confusing price updates.
Okay, so let's unpack this, starting with the optical basics. It's a fixed 12 mm focal length lens, so no zoom, and it uses a CS mount.
Which is that standard screw-in interface you see on, a lot of industrial and security cameras. And crucially, the aperture is fixed at f1.6. It is a fixed iris.
Wait, tell me a bit more about that. A fixed iris at f1.6, what does that actually mean for someone using it? Is that a pro or a con?
Well, it's a trade-off, really. The big advantage is simplicity. It's rugged, nothing to break, and you get really consistent exposure if your lighting is stable.
Ah, okay.
But that's the drawback. You lose flexibility. If you're dealing with light that's always changing, going from indoors to outdoors, you can't adjust. You really have to plan for its use case.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's talk sensors. The source material makes a big point of saying it's optimized for AIDA's full HD cameras that use a 13-inch CMOS sensor. Why that specific word, optimized?
Because compatibility is so much more than just, does the lens fit on the camera?
Yeah.
Optimization means the optics are specifically tuned for the pixel size and structure of that 13-inch sensor.
So you get the best possible image.
Precisely. I mean, it can support a bigger sensor, up to 12.5-inch, but if you use something other than that optimized size, you might get, some minor distortion or a little softness at the edges. It's really a performance note.
And speaking of performance, the physical specs are, they're pretty wild. This thing is tiny, 27 grams, and it's built for extremes. The operating temp goes from -4 all the way up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that range tells you everything, doesn't it? It tells you what kind of tough environments this was designed for. And that gives you, as the source notes, about a 54-degree horizontal field of view with that max 12.5-inch sensor.
Right.
But let's pivot from the mechanics, because the simple hardware makes the buying context even more critical.
Okay, here it is. This is the aha moment for anyone shopping around. The source shows that effective October 9, 2025, AIDA put a 15% tariff on all their products.
But, and this is the absolute key takeaway, that current list price of $45, it already includes that 15% tariff.
So what you see is what you pay.
Exactly. It locks in the final cost. No surprises. If you happen to see it listed cheaper somewhere else, you should be very wary, because that 15% might get tacked on at the end.
So $45 is the transparent final price. And the vendor, HDTV Supply, they really back that up with some serious value. Get free shipping in the USA, a 2-year warranty, free 30-day returns. But this is the big one, free lifetime technical support.
They're absolutely maximizing the value there. And for any, corporate or government buyers listening, there's one last important detail. The product is listed as TAA compliant. That just means it qualifies for contracts under the U.S. Trade Agreements Act.
So if we put it all together, we've got a lightweight, rugged, fixed 12mm CS mount lens. It's perfectly sized for those 13-inch sensors. And the pricing is completely straightforward, $45, tariff included.
That's the whole picture. We've covered the technical fit and the necessary financial context, but let's leave you with one final thought building on those environmental specs. Considering that massive operating temperature range from deep freeze cold to desert heat, what kind of niche industrial or remote monitoring jobs do you think this little lens is specifically built for? Think about where that level of sheer resilience is totally non-negotiable.